But neither here nor there. What up, 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 what up? My peoples, my mother and peoples. We are back once again. The Quality Minutes Podcast, back in full of mother and facts.
Absolutely.
We have a wonderful special guest this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. She is the CEO of the Financial Garden, CPA. She's a black woman, ladies and gentlemen.
She is.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Tasha Danielle.
Definitely. Definitely.
To the mother gang. You know what I'm talking about?
Yo,
welcome to the mother gang.
We up in here. So before we get into I always got to start with a story and how I know the guest or how I might know the guest. So Tasha, do you remember we was both RAs? Remember, like we was both resident assistants at Albion College. And so one time our resident director invited us all out for ice cream, right? And he was like, "Do you remember this, Tasha? You know what I'm talking about?"
I was trying to remember.
Okay, so my man's was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna take you guys out for ice cream next week," and we was like, "Bet!" Like I'm a poor college student. I'm like, "Okay, cool, that's what's up." And so we get to the ice cream place, and he get his ice cream, and he just looking around. I'm like, "Fam, I thought you was gonna cover this. Do you remember that, Tasha?"
I remember that now. I was like,
"Oh, he took y'all out there. Y'all had to pay out of pocket."
I didn't even buy ice cream. I didn't bring no money, bro. I was looking. Me and Tasha was looking at each other like, "Did you think he was paying for this? I thought he was paying for this."
Come on, man.
As soon as you said the paper, I was like, dude, you are our boss, and you put this event together. You supposed to pay. If your boss take you out anywhere, or offer to take you anywhere, they pick up the tab. It's ice cream, like."
My man said,
broke in college.
Shit.
Dog. Hey, look, hold on. We was like, "Hey, dude, you gonna pay for this?" God. And he like, shit. Definitely, dog. Definitely. That was crazy. Anywho, my man couldn't come up out of $3 for a cone, a one scoop and a cone and a sugar cone.
Wait, come on. Who paid? I don't even remember. Who paid for it? Did we just not get the ice cream?
I didn't even get ice cream, Tasha. I didn't even get ice cream.
Oh man, come on.
I was just there for the socializing. Anywho,
hey, my man's time you offer people some ice cream, get these mother some ice cream, please. Come on, man. That's bad, big.
Hey, no, definitely rule of thumb, ladies and gentlemen. If you gonna invite somebody out, particularly for food, drinks, you invite somebody out and say, "Hey, I'm gonna take you guys out." The assumption is that you're gonna cover it, or just say, "Hey, make sure you bring X number of dollars for ice cream."
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Give them the heads up. You don't want to get there. You get there all to a restaurant and nobody has no money after everybody ate. Like, oh, we are not doing dishes this evening.
That's the rule of thumb.
Yes, yeah, and he was over there eating his ice cream, licking his cone like a goofball. Anywho,
so how are you this afternoon, Miss Tasha? How are you?
Tasha, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's finally some sunny weather today. So I'm doing good. Just working hard early this morning. Nice workout in. Now I'm talking to y'all.
Definitely. So we want you to kind of, I don't know, tell us about yourself. Tell us where you're from, what you do, how you do it, and all that fantastic stuff.
All right. Well, my name is Tasha, as you already said. I am a Black woman. I'm from Taylor, Michigan. I grew up in Taylor and Highland Park, Michigan. And as you already mentioned.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Whoa. Wait a minute. Did you just say Highland Park?
Yes, I did. Highland Park.
So you a thug, Tasha? You're a thug out here in the streets? Oh.
No, you know what? Like early elementary was in Highland Park. All my family's from Highland Park, and if you really get to know me, people be like, "You not from Taylor." I'm like, I mean, them roots is in me from Highland Park. So yeah.
Damn.
And
Shout out to
obviously
HP.
went to college
Easy,
together.
HPZ.
HP in the house. And like Ryan said, we
Yes,
went
yes.
to college together. Post college, I worked in public accounting for a few years, got my CPA license, and then after I left the accounting firm, was working like 90 hours a week and just was like, what am I doing with my life type of thing. I started volunteering in the city of Detroit, Southwest, and Highland Park, and like this downriver communities as well, and realized the gap between kids understanding basics of financial literacy. So started volunteering during that, and then I realized, okay, I can make this a business. So I started side hustling, doing that when I was focused on paying off that debt. So Albion College is expensive.
As hell.
So I graduated.
As hell.
Yeah, as hell. I graduated with like over 50,000 in student loan debt. So all this was happening in my mid-20s. So I'm like, I was volunteering, seeing the gap. I was focused on paying off all this debt. I had about 80,000, a little over 80,000 in my mid-20s. So I'm like, I'm paying this off as fast as hell. And in the process, I wanted to educate along the way, so I hustling with that. So, so that's how Financial Garden was born. And yeah, so I've been doing Financial Garden since 2014, and I've educated over 800 kids in this area. Last year, Essence and Pine Star recognized Financial
Well, hold
Garden.
on. We gotta wait before you move on. Before you move, we gotta applaud that definitely. Yeah, most definitely. And the reason I definitely gotta applaud that because the last two episodes we've been talking a lot about how our educational system is not educating our kids to function financially, right? Like they don't like just the financial literacy portion is just not there in our general ed curriculum when it comes to public education. So definitely. for you to do that and to teach our kids like how to do that work and how to make their money work for them. And listen, I definitely want to air horn you one more time.
Especially doing that, trying to fight off $80,000 in debt.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did it too. I paid it all off before my 30th birthday. So just focus on that. So while I'm, side hustling, working my 9 to 5, everything was going towards this debt as well.
All right. Man. So my first question before we get into the nitty-gritty is you paid off your debt. How can I pay off my damn debt? Please, I need the answers ASAP. I'm working on it.
I want to hear this.
That's a wonderful question.
Please enlighten us.
Well, really, the B word, budgeting, which no one wants to hear, but really just good old fashioned budgeting is really how I did it. So really being diligent with my money. I always been good with money. My grandma taught me about it. Like I knew when we went to college, I was gonna graduate with about $50,000 in debt. So my whole goal was after college, I was focusing on the money. What career is gonna pay me the most amount of money? So when we graduated from college, I did have a starting salary of $50,000 a year. But with taxes, that's not really anything.
Not at all.
Especially me being single with no kids, that was getting eaten up. And I also I have health conditions as well. So a lot of people are like, oh, you start off making that, you don't have no kids, but everybody has a story. Mm-hmm. So along with my health conditions, I was my grandmother's legal guardian. So I had other responsibilities along this way, is my point. But really, what I did was I budgeted. So, and I lived in a boonies. So I still live in Michigan, but I moved to Brownstown, found an apartment for $500 a month. Not a label person. So what I had, clothes, shop, regular JCPenney to go to work every day, cut those vacations out, and just really focus on putting all my extra money towards my debt. So
Tasha, what I'm hearing from you is sacrifice. What you did was you sacrificed what most people want in the moment so that you can pay off that debt so you can have it eventually. So #sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely commendable, for sure.
Hell
for sure.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Continue, Black Queen.
No, that's just something. I mean, that's the big thing. Is just what you were saying was sacrificing, right? So I didn't even think about being debt free at all until I was volunteering a lot in church, and ironically, I was on, it's called Financial Empowerment Ministry. So we were educating adults in the community in Detroit and the surrounding areas on how to get their credit together, how to budget, and all this stuff. And I was running logistics for this event, and Michelle Singletary was our guest speaker that we brought in. Michelle Singletary writes for the Washington Post. She had a TV show out at the time talking about financial literacy. Mm-hmm. So I peeped in just to make sure everything was going okay. And she had said, like, what would you do if you owned your paycheck? And I was like, what? And so I stayed in the whole time. I was supposed to be doing logistics and everything. Listen to her talking about like how to live a debt-free life. I had never heard anything like this before. So after hearing her speak, I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this debt for real. I'm only in my mid-20s at this point. And so I Googled like how to be debt-free or, different ideas. And then a debt snowball came up. And so that's how I really got focused. So all before this, I was already budgeting, but I started doing a debt snowball, which means that you focus on paying off your debt from smallest to largest, instead of focusing on an interest rate.
Yes. So another thing you just said is you heard something and then you Googled it. We said this in our last episode. Like, there's information out there. Like, if you want to learn something, if you want to, whatever it is, it's out there. Google it, YouTube it. It's information out there, man.
A few clicks away, man. That's all it takes. A few clicks, my man.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's really what. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, now that you debt free, like, how you out here living? So what you doing with this financial freedom? What you doing?
What was the first vacation you took?
When I paid off, I went to South Africa for 3 weeks. So that's a very
nice.
So I wanted to do a real trip. So that was my reward to myself, because I would say along the way, if any of your listeners are familiar with the debt snowball method, you just like really, you're diligent, you putting all your money towards it. But every time I paid off a student loan or a credit card or whatever, I took a cheap trip on Spirit Airlines, Lord have mercy, to go visit a friend who lived out of state. That was my way of rewarding myself. So when it was all said and done, I went to South Africa, I went to Toronto, I went to Cali. I just went everywhere that summer. I was living. But now,
hey, yo, shout out to Spirit Airline though, the Greyhound of the air, of the sky.
The Greyhound of the air.
Shout out to Frontier too. Shout out to Frontier too.
Oh my God, that is pretty terrible there, boy. That's like the Amtrak.
Maybe not
the Amtrak of the air.
Like some people be like, Spirit's not that bad.
Jeez,
I'm like,
it depends on your experience. Like, it depends on what you used to.
So how was your experiences? How was your experience in South Africa?
It was amazing. So you know what? I went by myself and I met strangers. I know it's crazy.
Yeah, that's some HP stuff right there, baby.
You know what? Like, I'm not gonna live my life just putting on hold. So I would back up too. Like when I was paying off my debt, I did end up separating myself from a few people because, believe it or not everyone was supportive of me paying off debt. Like, it was a split comments and, everybody have that, because I was saying no to a lot of things. And so because I'm saying no, people were feeling like slighted. And I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to get what I need to get done. So I kind of got used to doing things on my own with paying off my debt. I'm sorry, say that one more time.
No, you said some good stuff. So we got to give you the
message.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was cutting out. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So I really and did on my own. But South Africa, I found this travel group, Black-owned company. I always try to support Black-owned whenever I can. And it's called Travel Noir. And you pretty much they put everything together for you, right? And we stayed at like this 5-star resort, went hot air balloon hiking. we did a million things, cook with some famous chefs. Like they create these very authentic experiences going into Soweto and Mobile, like all these different places, and really seeing people houses, how they live. So yeah,
And
it was
what's the name of
amazing.
that
And
organization again?
Travel Noir. And now they don't put together these trips anymore. They kind of have like these digital guides for you to do it yourself, which kind of sucks. But luckily, I was able to take part in that. So I still keep in touch with these women to this day. It was a group of like 12 of us that went. We didn't know each other. Some was from the Bay, from the South, from like all over. But we just all had that same mindset of like, this is where we want to go, and we're going to make it happen. We don't know these people, but we're going to make it work. And it was the best trip I ever had.
Nice. Very nice.
What did
So
you learn? What did you learn to being in Africa? Did you learn anything being in the motherland?
Yeah, I did. I really, everyone was like, saying welcome home, welcome home when you come, you know what I mean? And a lot of people didn't even know I was American until I spoke. So that was funny. And then like when you're out, sometimes you have your passport and it was just like, oh my God, you got this blue passport. And I'm just thinking it's nothing. So even being Black over there, you still have like the American privilege. And I didn't think, here experience that I had in my life is always, being Black, you have to work harder. It's just like this, you're a target at times, not all the time, but you can be a target in some cases. Mm-hmm. So it just felt weird to be on the opposite end of that in South Africa and being like, oh my God, you're an American type of thing. So that was weird, but it just made me realize how ignorant I was to other cultures when I was over there and how American I really am. Wow. So they know all about our politics and our culture, but like I knew nothing about their history. You know what I mean? So just really educating myself and really realize how privileged I am and just didn't even know it.
Did you say you went to South Africa?
Yeah, so I went to Johannesburg and I was in Pretoria, bounced around a lot of different, they call it counties, I think, but cities in that area, states. Yeah.
South Africa got a pretty sketchy past, man. if you don't know Google apartheid, man, it was pretty reckless out there in South Africa some time ago. Also, shout out Nelson Mandela.
We all hear about Nelson Mandela, but I really knew about he was in jail and stuff, but like I just didn't really know why until I was there. You know what I mean? That's when I was like, well, how did I not know this? And just knowing what we was going through in the civil rights movement they was going through over there, it was crazy. And like, we came over here as slaves, but they were in their area, and you got people just coming in because they want their natural resources and just pretty much taking over, like in the 1900s, 1800s, or whatever type of time frame. So just a lot of stuff I didn't know. So that was my biggest takeaway.
Okay. So we gotta ask, man, you a CPA. Here's the question. How do we get to the money? How do we get to this paper out here in these streets? Please, we need to know ASAP.
Please inform. Please inform.
You know what? I get this question a lot, especially, I would say, Black Lives Matter been around for, since it wasn't just popular. It didn't become a thing, I should say, last year when everything happened with George Floyd. It just became accepted by these companies to be like, oh, we in camaraderie with y'all. And the conversation on Black wealth really started being expedited, was my whole point in bringing this up. So it's like, well, how do we get Black wealth? How do we get this? You know what I mean? How do we get to the bag? And really going back to what I said first is sacrifice. You're going to have to really separate yourself from people, because you're going to have to figure out how to get multiple streams of income, really is where it's at. So for example, I have financial guarding. I still work 9 to 5 corporate as a CPA. And then I also have real estate. So, and now I have residential real estate. And now I'm working on getting commercial real estate. So it's just all about understanding different industries and really how to invest your money. And aside from that, I still have my money in the stock market and stuff like that, but just really being focused and getting your education on certain things. So let me bring it all the way down. So if you just work in one job and you're like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I'm in this rabbit hole, I feel like I'm never going to get out. I have been there. And what I had to do was just the time you feel like you don't have, you have to figure out how can you get another job or how can you start hustle to get more money coming in to do a budget. So how can you cut back on some expenses and how can you get more money coming in? Until you get your day-to-day right, you're not going to have any money to go invest. So it's just going to seem so far out of reach for you. And I also encourage people, if you have an employer who has 401k, which is your retirement, that is your first starting point to learn how to invest your money. Because they're usually matching it, and you can use this to understand the basics of mutual fund investing.
Oh, if you said something, you said understand your
Ooh-wee.
day to day. Oh, I hear it. I hear it. Understand your day to day. I got a lot of questions. Greg, you got a question? I gotta sort this
Oh,
out in
go
my head.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Sheesh.
All right. So, all right, let's say, during COVID-19, we all got this, this bit of money, whatever it was, 2,500, whatever the amount was. I forget how much it was, but you got this extra bit of money, right? If somebody is trying to just like and say it wants to start building wealth, let's say somebody's trying to start building wealth, like you're in a working class, middle class, and I'm in my 30s and I want to start saving for the future. I want to save for my kids. Like what should people do with that 1,500? And I know you're a CPA, there's only so much you can tell us for free, but let's do it for the culture. What do we do with that? What do you do with that money?
The first thing is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved. And I know nobody wants to hear that. Like, I am a realist, right? You seeing all the Bitcoin, you seeing all the stock market stuff. Like, I should put my money in here and I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna get rich overnight. If you want to get money fast, it's not going to last fast and it's probably a fluke. So that's first and foremost. So for me, before I even really started staying fast on paying off my debt, was making sure I really had 6 months of my living. So that's 6 months of rent, that's 6 months of your car payment saved up. And I know people are like, what the heck? If I could save all that up, then I should invest it. No, because if something happens, usually you put it on your credit card. That's how you get into payday advances. And that's how you get into this like circle of always robbing Peter to pay Paul. So the first thing is you need to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. So if you got this stack of money and you don't have any savings, it should literally just go into your savings account and you should be working hard to get extra money coming in to get the minimum of 3 months of living expenses saved up.
Okay, so you start.
Then,
okay, go ahead, keep going. Oh no.
I was like, then after the savings piece of it, if you work for an employer that has a 401k, you really need to see what your money is going into. No matter who your provider is for your 401k, let's say it's Chase or Empowerment or Fidelity, you can always call and get free classes. Like, ask when the next informational session is so you can understand about the basic of mutual fund investing. Because after you have that saved up, you should be investing in your 401k anyway, but you really should focus on how much of money am I leaving on the table. So for example, I still work 9 to 5 and my employer matches pretty much 6%, whatever I put in. So I'm gonna at least put in 6%. And a lot of people don't even know that they're leaving money on the table. So if you're not contributing to your 401k, that is your first spot of, being able to create some wealth. And another reason why I say that is I go against the grain, even though I'm a CPA. I am conservative with my money. Some people are like, oh, once you put money in your 401k, you should never touch it, right? Only till you retire because you have tax, you have to pay penalties and all this other stuff. But I actually took a loan out from my 401k to go buy an investment property cash. And I put that money right back in after I bought this house. It took me I thought it was going to take me 2 to 3 months, but when it was all said and done, it took me probably 5.5 months to find another rental property, because our house hack now. We can talk about that in the next segment or whatever. But I bought this house cash for $50,000, and then this year it appraised for double. You know what I mean? So I doubled my money by going against the grain of, oh my God, don't ever take anything out. I put that money back in 6 months. So I wasn't really like missing out. I didn't take out a loan for 5 years on it, took it out for 6 months. And, 3 years later, doubled my money in this investment property. So, well, going all the way back because I know I jumped.
That's all right.
You save for 3 to 6 months. You want to make sure you got your 401k straight up until your match. Then after that, I would focus on getting a Roth IRA, which is people again probably thinking you keep talking on this retirement because there's so many different things you can do when your money's in your retirement accounts. Notice I didn't say I'm putting all my money into Robinhood apps. Notice I didn't say I'm joining some MLM to get into Forex training. I'm saying I'm focusing on these set structures first before jumping out the window and doing other things.
Oh, that's good. Wait a minute. Hold tight. Hold on. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So, Greg, you had something? I think.
No, because she's hitting them step by step.
Definitely
knocking them down step by step.
Definitely. Man. So what about I keep talking about this on a podcast, but I just finished Rich Dad Poor Dad. Most financial people are familiar with this book. And so he talks a lot about real estate, right? And I heard you say that you bought an investment property. Tell us what you know about like real estate and the risk in real estate, or like should people look into like buying property and rental property? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's funny because like one of my best friends, she got me involved in real estate. And I still have not read Rich Dad Poor Dad to this day, but I understand the concept of it. But after I paid off my debt, just going back to that, I went to South Africa and my friend, she hit me up like, okay, so when you buying a house? And I'm like, I'm not right now. It's not on my radar. Like I'm still out here living my life. I was 3 years, paying off this debt. And she was like, me and my husband, we bought a multifamily, and you should listen to this podcast called Bigger Pockets, and you should invest in real estate. I was like, girl, I'm not about to do that. Like, seriously, I was just like, I'm not trying to hear this. I'm like, you're married. I'm single. I was single at the time. And I'm like, I don't have anyone to help me with a house. So I'm thinking just like the maintenance, gutters, furnace. I'm like, I don't have time for that. But she was on my head. So fast forward, she was on my head for a month. So I'm like,
hey, shout out to positive peer pressure. Shout out to positive peer pressure. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Right. And let me say this too. She's a broker. Now she's a broker, but she was an agent. And it wasn't like she had anything in it too. You know what I mean? She wasn't hitting me up like, oh, come in and pay this $500 fee and learn everything I know so she can get money out of it. She was just like, really like, listen, we getting this cash flow. So I can't remember the numbers, but let's just say they bought a triplex, which is 3 apartments in one for $300,000. And the numbers was running in like, they basically was getting like $4,000 a month from these 3 properties because they're in Atlanta. They redid it, everything. So I'm a numbers person, duh. So she just kept running the numbers, and I'm like, oh, all right, I'm listening to the podcast. So in a month, the positive peer pressure, I'm like, all right, throw me an agent out here in Michigan, and I'm just gonna see because you keep pressing me about this, and I did. So I found a multifamily in Downriver, Michigan. It was 2 units, and I had the option to turn. It was a finished basement, 2-bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, to just throw some egress windows, which is basically the windows that if you pop out, you can walk out. So if it's a fire, in there. So I looked for houses for maybe 2 weeks, and I found this one. I bought it for $110,000. And I already ran the numbers, knew that from both the units before I did any renovations, I could definitely get $1,600 a month total. So the real estate rule is if you thinking about if this is going to be profitable, the 1% rule. So the purchase price plus the price it takes you to get the house together, that total should be 1%. So the house I bought for $110,000, if it took me $10,000 to put in there, that's $120,000, right? So for this deal to make sense without going into detail, just off your head, you have to get rents of $1,200. Otherwise, you're losing money. Exactly. Obviously, it's more calculations that go into it than that, but that's just a rule of thumb in real estate. Now, a lot of people are saying a 1% rule, you should really think 2%. So that's how you know just off the rip if it's a good deal. So my house, $110,000. before doing any renovations, I knew I could get $1,600 a month. So I know I'm doing good. So what I ended up doing was moved from downtown. I was living in a high rise. And I was paying like $1,200 a month.
Oh,
Bought this
you was living
duplex.
in a high rise in a deluxe apartment in the sky?
I was. Listen, I paid that. Listen, I had to upgrade my life. Okay, I was living in the boonies in Brownstown in this little 2-bedroom. It was a decent apartment for $500 a month for 5 years. I was living there before I got on my debt journey. So I'm like, I'm paying this debt off. I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna live in the nice corner unit with my view. I'm in the middle of everything. So that's the type of life that I wanted to live, but I wasn't gonna do that in debt.
Doing your George Jefferson strut through the
I
lobby.
I definitely was.
We finally got a piece of the pie.
Listen, when I paid that debt off, I was like, I finally got the piece of the pie, right?
Man,
So
right.
I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, when I pay
but-
this debt off, I'm definitely doing a George Jefferson walk down my street in my drawers because this debt.
Wait a minute, please. Please don't catch a case after you pay off your debt, please.
No, please don't.
Decent exposure, please don't catch a case.
In my drawers. Okay, I'm sorry. So the real estate, that's some good talk. That's some good talk right there. What do you know about the stock market? Because with Robinhood, it's made like investing and trading like super easy, like almost too easy. And I feel like a lot of people are losing their money in the stock market. So what do you know about the stock market?
You sure will.
Oh, hell yeah. Like what tips would you give people? What would you say?
For me, in the stock market realm, you have individual stocks where you can buy on applications like Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity. You can buy individual stocks, which means if you really love Coca-Cola or you really love Walt Disney, you can go and buy one individual stock, which means that you put your money in that company. If that company goes bankrupt tomorrow, you've lost all your money that you put into it, right? That's individual stock. Then you have mutual fund investing where you can have multiple companies in one fund, which is what I do because it lowers your risk. So I'm not an individual stock investor, nor am I a day trader. So I'm going to go back to just individual stock investing. I think you can definitely make a lot of money in stock trading, day trading. I do not know anything about day trading because I don't do it, but it is a skill. It's not something you just go and learn overnight. That's why I don't do it. A lot of people day trade for their career. You already heard me say I got 9 to 5 and 2 other businesses. I don't have time to learn about day trading too. So I can't speak on that. But if you go buy, let's say you go buy Nike stock on Robinhood, that's great. You're investing, but you're putting all your money into one company. Whether it goes up or goes down, it's in that one company. And you really only get money is if you sell it. So if you sell it, then you got capital gains depending on how long you held it. That's why I just don't really mess with individual stocks because I'm not trying to trade and my tax situation is already complicated enough. I don't need to add that on there. So as far as Webull and Robinhood, I don't really have too much to say about the act for, in my opinion, about buying stock. I think it's great for people to get their feet wet to understand about it. And same thing for the cryptocurrency that's on here. I would say I do have cryptocurrency, but I do not purchase it on Robinhood. I use Gemini or Coinbase because you actually own the Bitcoin itself or whatever the cryptocurrency is, where Robinhood really has control over your cryptocurrency on there. If you read all the fine print, like you don't actually own that, you don't actually own the coins or have it. They kind of have control over it, which is why I don't use it for cryptocurrency. But I think it's good for individual stocks. But so individual stocks, mutual funds. I know you're about to say something, so I'll let you go.
No, you the guest. Go ahead and you listen. What you're saying is way more important than what I was about to
say. So you have then you have mutual funds. With mutual funds, you have index funds, which is what I invest in. So index funds are low cost mutual funds. So let's say y'all are like, okay, I don't want to put my money into Robinhood anymore. I want to put it in a mixture of companies. I love tech. You know what I mean? I want a little bit of Tesla. I want a little bit of Apple. Let's just put my money into a fund. Okay, great. That's leveling on your risk, so you don't have all your money in Tesla. It's spread out between Tesla, Apple, Google, or whatever. But the thing is, if you work with a mutual fund that's actively managed, I'm saying, hey guys, I can double your money in my fund. We are all about results, which a lot of brokers talk about, that they can beat the market. Okay, when you put your money into an actively managed mutual fund, you are going to pay hella fees and a lot of expenses, and so you're not going to make as much money as you would if you put it in an index fund. So index funds pretty much are similar. They're like the fund I just mentioned. I'm trying not to make it too complicated, and I know I'm talking fast, so I'm trying to slow it down.
That's okay.
So if you have actively managed fund, then you have index funds that just pretty much shadow the market. So you still have Tesla, you still have Google, you still have all those companies, but it's not actively managed. So you're making way more money because you're not making fees, and it's mirroring the S&P 500. And it's low cost.
I got a question real quick. So you talked about index funds, mutual funds. How is that different than from ETFs?
So you can actually have an index fund, an ETF index fund as well. So there's index ETFs and there's regular ETFs. So the difference between the index ETF and a regular ETF is that there's not supposed to be as much fees in the index ETF as it is in a non-index ETF. I know we're seeing a lot of alphabet soup right here, but I don't do ETFs as of right now. I literally just index fund. It's all I put it in, and I have it in Vanguard and Fidelity. Fidelity is a little bit better now than Vanguard on their fees, so it's still like pennies for the fees that add up to it. But Fidelity is more, in my opinion, user friendly. It has a lot more, it explains things a lot better than Vanguard. So right now I'm talking about the platforms you can put your money into. You can start investing in mutual funds and index funds, low cost index funds with Fidelity with $5, I think. They don't have a fee, a barrier, where at Vanguard, I think you really do have to start with $3,000 to start with Vanguard. So Fidelity, I really like it because it's user beginner friendly. They have a lot of videos explaining things, so you don't have to pay for an expensive course to learn the basics. You can go to Fidelity and watch your intro videos to learn more about it.
So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know you all be seeing all them posts on your social media timelines that say you're going to make $1 million next month if you just do this, A, B, and C. Don't work like that, apparently.
Not at all.
No, I don't believe. I feel like you have to know what you don't know, right? So I don't do one-on-one coaching at the moment, but I do a lot of stuff in the communities, and especially in a Black church. And a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. I don't even feel comfortable with charging a lot of times until I know that they understand the basics of it. So before you go spend $1,500 on a course, there are some good courses out there. I'm not gonna say that there's not, but just watch your free content that's out there. Listen to podcasts. Like I really like for real estate, I'll say in Bigger Pockets, but for investing, like I like Paula Pant, Afford Anything. There's so many free financial podcasts, just so you can start hearing the terms. If you're like, I never heard of an index fund, a mutual fund, ETF, index ETF, start listening to the podcast just so you can become familiar with it before you put your money into it, is all I'm saying.
Please do your information before you put your money into anything, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
Yes. Real life. I was one of them clowns. I was like, damn, because I'd always talked about like investing my money and doing some trading out just for a number of years. So I downloaded Robinhood. I'm like, all right, I'm about to get this money out here in these streets. And then I put my money in some places that I didn't know much about, didn't do the research. And I didn't lose tons of money, but I was just like, damn, this is not a good idea. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Losses are losses, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how you.
Okay, the losses. Did you learn from the losses though?
I certainly did. I've learned so much more about the market from those losses. So, you know, I've learned how to read those charts, you know, how to look at them Bollinger lines, them, you know, how to do just to do research. You know, I'll pull up Google Yahoo Finance, and I'm able to like really like research a company before I put my money in it. So yes, I did learn from those losses, but definitely but also I started with very little money. Like, so I didn't take $1,500, $2,000 and put it in a bunch of companies. I took like $15, $20.
Okay.
Like, you know,
Gotta start somewhere, baby.
You got to get your feet wet a little bit. So, but I'm kind of
for sure.
I'm kind of a cheapskate. So when I lost $2, I'm like, damn, bro, I'm out of here.
Hey, man.
So here's the thing: when you have it, you don't. You know, you have to sell it to actually lose it, right? You can always get it back if you just hold on to the stock. And this is why I just don't do individuals. I'd rather just put it in the fund. And index funds historically have beat individual. I mean, index funds is on autopilot. Index funds have historically beat actively managed mutual funds year over year, fist over fist. Like, it's just all the data is out there. So for me, I'd rather just put my money on autopilot and just see the dividends just return on themselves and put back in. So it's easier for me to see that pot just build up, right? If I didn't, so I didn't mention like a popular debt person because I didn't really follow his methods. So I'm not even gonna say his name. But in case he would be in y'all comments on this podcast, it is the person you're thinking of. But I heard the Debt-Free Life from Michelle Singletary. So I always want to give credit to where I heard it from first, which is from a Black woman. And the other popular person who talks about, you know, paying off your debt, he's like, live on beans and rice, just focus, focus, focus. That's not what I did. He also says that you shouldn't invest while you're paying off debt. I definitely invested while I paid off my debt. I can't remember, I'm going off the top of my head because I know I did like an Instagram video about this. If I didn't invest my money during paying off my debt, I think I would have left like $75,000 on the table, because in the 3 years that I paid off my debt, that's how much my investments had grew to. With my company matching me just putting in the 6%, that's what I would have left at. And then you 75,000 compounded over decades is a lot of money being missed out on. That's just putting it into funds. So instead of me just buying one stock, I'm putting it into funds to alleviate that risk.
Ooh,
very nice.
Very nice. You talking that talk. Don't leave money on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Do not leave money on the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was told once before, look for stocks that give dividends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Get you some off these stocks, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta get some off these stocks,
for sure. But also I learned that, like, you know, don't invest in something you don't know nothing about. Like,
facts.
You know, invest in something like you're interested in. Invest in companies that you like. I have Nike stock because I buy Nikes. I like Jordans, right? So, you know, I might as well, you know, own a little piece of the pie, you know what I'm saying, while I'm, you know, giving them money myself. So yeah, definitely. So tell us about Financial Guard. Oh, go ahead. And then tell it after you say this, tell us about what you teaching the babies over at Financial Guard.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say that's a good point, because a lot of people coronavirus is still going on, but like in the beginning of the pandemic, like stock market went down and then it would start going crazy, right? And then people just really were hitting me up. Like my friends feel like they were missing out. Like, I'm seeing these headlines, I should put my money in there. If you see a headline, it's already too late. You've already missed the wave. So if you hear analysts talking about it already of how great it's doing, you missed probably the huge come up of really making a return. I said probably, it's nothing definite. But I'm just saying, like, if you get caught into the headlines and what you're seeing on social media, just like, you know, you just said, like, do your research on the companies you know or industries. If you know you're interested in healthcare or you're interested in electricity or renewables or anything like that, focus on that. Don't just do because you see headlines about this company that's on the rise and you want to get a piece of it. So for Financial Guardian, I'm teaching the babies this. So I teach kindergarten through 12, and I'm teaching them about emotions and money first and foremost, because everything we do around money, it goes back to our relationship and our ideology and emotions that's tied in with money. And so I really want to start there first. That could be my psychology. econ major, double major coming into play, but it's really all psychological. So that's the first thing is just trying to understand like what the relationship with money is and your money mindset. And I try not to, not try, I do not, in any financial guardian instructors, we do not tell them what's right or wrong with handling their money when first starting off, because you have kids that are coming from households that are living paycheck to paycheck. Then you have kids that's in the same space. Their parents are hood rich. They aren't living paycheck to paycheck, but it's maybe not legit. So they just blow money fast and just buy labels. I don't want to tell them what's the wrong thing off rip. You know what I mean? And that's really biased anyway. If you want to spend your money on buying designer clothes, then by all means do it. You know what I mean? That could be your advice. Everybody has advice. Mine is traveling. So just starting there with the basics on relationship with money, and then we talk about budgeting, banking, brick and mortars are kind of going away, little by little, but talking to them about Cash App and Venmo and FDIC, like what does all this stuff mean? And really for high schoolers, really focusing in on debt and credit scores. Because if you're in high school, you're a few steps from being an adult, and you really need to understand the impact of credit. And investing. So I'm going to jump around. So emotions and money, and entrepreneurship. So I actually wrote a kids book talking about kidpreneurship. It's in the back. So we talk about how to make money first.
What is it? What is the name of your book first? First of all, what is the name of your book?
It's Bracelets, a kidpreneur story. So it's about a little girl starting her business selling bracelets to reach a financial goal. So after talking about emotions and money, we talk about how to make money, because not every teenager can get a job. So they need to know how to make money out here. And even with kids planting that seed, knowing that they have the power to make their own money with their parents' help or permission is so key. So then after that, we talk about, if you understand the money mindset, how to make money, you go into actually how to manage it with budgeting. Then we talk about banking, debt, and then last is investing. So that is what I'm teaching the babies.
The little duns.
You gotta do it for the little duns.
Yes.
That's what's up, man.
Dang. So if go ahead.
Because I have a 9-year-old daughter, man, and she's been a kid entrepreneur since she was like 5 years old. Like it started with like a lemonade stand. Now she draws portraits and paints pictures, and she just all over the place, man. And I just feel like it's real phenomenal for her to even just, you know what I'm saying, be at this particular age and wants to explore her own business ideas and business ventures. So I think that is very influential that you are doing that for the little duns. You know what I'm saying? I commend that for sure.
Definitely. So how do you? So he talked about Booty Boo. Shout out to Booty Boo.
Booty Booski.
Booty Boo. How does he set up Booty Boo? So Booty Boo, you know, by the time she turns 18 years old, like she got a little something ready to go into adulthood. How do we set up the babies?
So I just stockpile. I think the website just escaped me. So parents, you can open up custodial investment accounts for your kids. It's gonna drive me crazy. I think it's stockpile. And it's user friendly. You can buy a portion of a stock. So if you guys if your kid loves Disney and you're like, I'm not going to spend the full price, don't have the money to buy full price stock in Disney, you can buy a fraction of it with stockpile, and it can be in their actual name. And you can start generating this for them. So that's one way, is start having money going to an investment account, not just a savings account, an investment account. Excuse me, for listeners who are entrepreneurs, you need to make your kids an employee in your company and pay them actual salary. And then the salary that you're paying them can go into a Roth IRA for them to start having their investment account. So this is my second time mentioning Roth IRA. I love them because you can take your contributions out tax-free if the account has been established for 5 years. You can take out anything you contributed tax-free. So you said your daughter is 9. So, okay, if she's 15, 16, all the money that you've been putting in, you can decide to take out, and then you can just let the earnings grow over that time.
Yes,
And it's not,
ma'am.
you're not paying any taxes on that or any penalties on the contributions that you put in if you take out. So if you think about if you have your own business, you pay your child within the business in any age. So you have a 9-year-old. So this podcast, if you have an Instagram page and you put your daughter on there as a model, like that's paying. If you take pictures of her, if she's helping you on social media, that is a job. As long as you have a job description for your child and list out what they're doing and they pay a wage, you can't decide, okay, I'm gonna pay my daughter $100 an hour. That wage, you can just automatically cut the check to your child, and as you as a parent, just put it right into their Roth. So you have stockpile, you have open up their Roth, and you can open up the Roth through Fidelity, Vanguard, Bank of America. You can open up the Roth IRA. So those are two investment account ways of doing it. And you can also do a 529 plan, which is investing in your kids' college education. Or last but not least, you can look into real estate. So a lot of people who are in the bigger pockets community, they focus on buying their kids a house. So you buy a house even at 9, if you get a 15-year mortgage on it, by the time your kids graduated from college, you've had a tenant and you're paying that mortgage, and you can have your child take that on, and that can start being their passive income when they're adults. So there's so many different ways you can go with it.
You forgot one. You could also get them things from Poppy, step on them things, and get it on these streets.
Some down.
Step on it couple
down
times.
one time.
You know what I'm saying? Go see Poppy.
Nah, lead the block.
Nah, don't go see Poppy, y'all. Please,
Yeah,
please, we don't need you incarcerated, ladies and gentlemen.
Out of this, please.
Definitely. So
please, babies.
So what you got coming up? Well, first, let me ask this question. So so I work in education, right? And one thing I believe is, about financial literacy, and I want kids to understand what it means to make money and to earn money and to grow money, right? So, like, if somebody like myself is interested in the financial garden services, like how would somebody reach out to you and make that happen? Or do you only serve the Detroit community?
Nope. Go to financialgarden.com and contact us, and then get on a call with me, because the curriculum, I did create the curriculum myself, and I benchmarked it with the National Personal Finance Education for students kindergarten through 12th. So the curriculum I have, I really did it myself, and so there's a way for me and my staff to come in and provide professional development to teach teachers about how to get their finances straight first and foremost. And then while they're learning how to get their finances straight, they can get the curriculum to teach their kids about basic financial literacy. And so that is not just limited to Detroit. The professional development and the curriculum portion of it is whatever district wants it. With the in-person, myself or any instructors on staff, that's only in the Detroit area.
All right.
Fire.
Definitely. More fire. So what you got coming up now? Like, you got some trips planned? Like, what kind of summer is this, man, for you right now? What you out here doing?
It's travel, because I'm vaccinated, even though I said I wasn't going to get vaccinated, but I feel comfortable traveling now. So I've already been to a lot of places visiting friends. I just came back from Cabo a few weeks ago. So Jamaica is on the agenda for this year. I'm trying, Spain or Africa is on, it's question mark, just depending on the variants and stuff like that. But besides the travel, it is really getting 2 more doors. So 2 more properties this year. So I know the market is crazy, but there's still deals out here, and I'm determined to get them. So I have 3 doors, meaning like I have 3 rental units now. I want to get 5 residential units before I get into the commercial space. So I am determined to get these 2 properties this year so I can hop over into commercial.
Very
look
nice.
At that. Look at that.
Very
oh
nice.
My gosh. Black woman excellence at its finest right here, y'all. Oh my God. Black girl magic, black woman magic. Come on now.
Thank you.
She is living proof that you do not have to live in debt for the rest of your days, ladies and gentlemen. It just takes time, budgets, and consistency, man. Pretty much, man. You gotta believe in yourself. Who else gonna believe in you? 2 Chainz voice.
Right. You ain't doing nothing. You just sit on the couch. Hit it with the Everest. Hit it with the Everest commercial real quick.
You're not doing that with yourself. You over there sitting there looking at me.
I do want to say one thing too, because I know a lot of people are like, well, you paid off debt and you in more debt with houses, because I don't think I'm debt free now. The only debt I have is my actual house that I live in. The rental property that I have is, there's mortgages on them, but I'm really conservative about it. So I have 6 months cash reserves for each rental property in case there's a vacancy or whatever, so I can cover the mortgage. So there's definitely, I'm really conservative still with my money. I'm not like, okay, let me go out here and just finance the world with getting into real estate. I'm still really conservative about it and making sure there's business credit, there's like limited liability with myself and losing my assets. So there's a lot that goes into it too. I don't want people think I'm just like out here just getting a whole bunch of debt again.
Right. So, and indeed, also, for those ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this, Greg and I had talked about how OnlyFans might be shutting down and might be getting rid of some of that nasty content. So for some of y'all who you don't got no more content, you better be listening.
If you're not trying to be a tenant, get your goddamn credit together. Please leave this lady alone. Please. Okay?
For sure.
Please.
For sure. Definitely.
You're not trying to travel to Africa. Yeah.
She is not trying to be your sugar mama, for real. I know she got her funds together, her stuff together.
Thank y'all for that, because I don't need my DM with no. Thank you for clearing all that up.
No Jodies, please. No Jodies. Jesus.
Yeah, because they gonna be in there like,
None
so
of my friends call me either. Like, yo.
You know what I mean? They gonna be in there like, yo, so I'm thinking about my money, right? I'm trying to get my money right. So what can you do? Can we link up lunch or something? Like, how they be doing, man. Come on.
Y'all know y'all audience, so
we do.
Yeah, we love the audience, man. We love our audience, man.
We do. So any things you want to plug, like some outside of yourself? Like, we know Financial Garden. Definitely follow on social media, reach out for any business inquiries. You want to hire her as a CPA? Are you taking any more clientele as a CPA?
No. Financial Garden.
Never mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, Financial Garden, it's a great thing. Like, now that COVID is hopefully behind us, like, I'm insanely busy staffing and logistics, like, in Detroit. So no, I'm definitely not taking on one-on-one coaching or anything like that, or clients like at all right now.
Gotcha.
But I do have, you said plug. I do have a few people to plug that do have those services that I know they do a great job. Atia Brown, she's at the Savvy Accountant. So Savvy with 2 V's accountant. She's amazing on the tax side, especially if you have real estate. She's a CPA as well. And she does, I think, have some time or capability taking on new clients right now. She has a team as well that assists her with that. Aside from the Savvy Accountant, if you're looking for money coaching, if you want to work with like, I don't really want to know if I want to work with a woman. Some men are like that. Lawrence Kane Jr. On Instagram. Lawrence it is traditionally spelled Kane, Cain Jr. He does money coaching as well. And then last but not least, my mentor, Dorothea Kelly, she is at themoneychat.com. She does financial coaching as well.
Definitely. We appreciate that. So we are a business. We're a fairly young business. And I think that like we will have maybe I don't even know, a year now, maybe. It's coming on a year since we've been in business and we've been doing Quality Minutes. What advice would you give to us and any other young entrepreneurs and people trying to do business? What advice would you give?
First, congratulations on coming up on your year. The biggest advice is just stay consistent first and foremost. That's the key, especially when starting off, because you're like, oh, I don't have any clients, or I don't have consistent listeners. You're like, oh, nobody cares, and you never know who's watching. Like, seriously. So just stay consistent. Like, if you are podcasting, if you're YouTubing, if you say you're gonna do it every week, do it every week. You know what I mean? Even if you're providing a service, just be consistent. Aside from that, on the business side, I really think that you should have your bookkeeping up to date. Of course, an accountant would say that. But you really need to have a good bookkeeper. A lot of people think that they have to work with a CPA. Like, you do need a CPA when it comes to tax time and like strategy. But I'm a CPA and I'm not going to do your books, meaning that I'm not going to look at all your transactions from day to day. Those are bookkeepers. And so a lot of small business owners overlook that. Having a bookkeeper, they wait to the end of the year to start looking at, oh man, I got all these crazy expenses or receipts everywhere. I need to get organized. So really be up to date on your accounting is key. And having a good relationship with your bank. If you are ever at a point where you need to scale up in your business, you need to have a business bank account, because I will speak from experience. It's a little long-winded answer, but on the real estate side, because of my relationship with my credit union, it was easier for me to get just checks cut in my business name only without me having personal liability. So small business owners, really make sure you have a good relationship with a small bank or a credit union, not a big bank, because they are not lenient with pretty much anything. But it's really key to have those relationships with credit union and small banks. Those are the three top things I would tell any small business owner.
Damn. We always do quality music recommendations, because we always listen to a little something that gets us going, or that's just keeping us hype. So what you listening to nowadays, Tasha?
J. Cole, new one. 100 Mil is my favorite track. That's my running song. That's my hype song. Like, I have got that song on repeat. So this whole album, like the intro with Cam, like that's the album that's on repeat right now. Also listening to Bia. BIA. She popped in with the whole Lot of Money song, but her EP is pretty good. Those are the top two that I'm listening to right now, besides just, old school stuff that I go to. I feel like when you get older, you kind of like can't appreciate new music. I'm trying to get out of that. But I'm a big J. Cole, Jay-Z fan, so I'm always got in the old Kanye before he went to where he went. Those like the classic stuff is still on rotation for me.
For sure. Speaking of Cam, the next verses, we got Dipset.
What?
The Locks. What you know?
I didn't even know that.
Come on, Tasha. You don't know nothing about no goddamn Dipset. Come on now.
Yes.
What you know about the blue and the blue and the red days? Like, what do you know about that? What? Oh, I know. Okay, Freaky Ziggy. I know about that. Don't know me. Okay.
Yeah, okay. She threw
ladies
the blue
and gentlemen,
and the red disc. All right.
She is from HP. Okay. That is not play her cheap, okay? Do not play her cheap, Briar.
They really got a versus? I didn't know that.
Versus the Locks. Yes. Versus the Locks coming up. Was it the 3rd? I think it's August 3rd. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in here.
3rd or the 7th, one or two. Oh, me too.
Real quick. Ready. Your favorite Dipset joint, real quick. What y'all? Let's see if you know. Your favorite Dipset joint.
I really mean it. I really mean it.
Okay. All right.
Off the top, quick with it though.
Okay.
I literally, y'all, this like for real. Last month, I literally just put on that, like, well, not the CD, but I had on Tidal. I was like, dang, I just had it in my head. I went back to the blue disc. That was my favorite one. I feel like that was with I can't remember the tracks right now, but I'm a Dipset fan and a Cam fan.
Damn.
So when I heard the
Body
intro on J.
warm,
Cole, I
heart
said,
anemic.
huh?
Yes.
Say that one more
yes.
time.
Body warm, heart anemic.
Yes. Yes, I know all about it. Yes.
G, what's your favorite
Ricky.
Dipset joint?
Say that one more time.
I was asking G what his favorite Dipset joint is.
When my nigga Cam hops on there, said, "Hey yo, I argue with my mother. Summer, fall, it's winter time. Get that off the table, Cameron. It's dinner time. I got a line downstairs. I'm in the grind. From 10 to 9, you do your business right. Let me attend to mine. You cooking pork anyway. I ain't in the swine."
Killer,
Come on,
shout out
Cam.
to Killer. What do you say?
Come on.
I'm on the west side of Chicago looking for a bust down to make me put my two arms up.
Looking for a bust down.
Touchdown. Come on.
Touchdown.
Come on, Cam. I gotta say, the Dipset anthem.
I'm going to buy a
my favorite
bandana
joint.
tonight.
Yes. I'm gonna go
that's
get
what
it.
they
Like
do.
Jewels in this.
I'm gonna get a 4XL t-shirt. I'm gonna dust off my Jabot
Facts.
jeans. I think I might got an old jersey in
with
there.
the pocket on the side. With the pockets on the side. Ooh, baby.
Oh. So wait, y'all
With
going?
the
So
band-
that means y'all going for Dipset then on this versus.
I'm going for
Now wait.
everybody. Listen,
Right, because I can't sleep on Jada Kiss, my boy Sheik and Luch. I can't sleep on the locks because I know they're coming with heat. I know they are.
they got a lot.
I mean,
of
I like
juice.
the locks. I like the locks too, but I mean, I've never bought a locks album. I've definitely had both. I had Jada's, and I still listen to Jada's first album, honestly. But I'm gonna go with Dipset.
I think we all. I think the world is leaning toward Dipset more because Dipset was more in the public eye. I would say, the locks were more. I say a lot of their most raw and rugged stuff was so dark that it didn't really make the radio and stuff as much. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You
Listen,
know what I'm saying?
I think Dipset, and they said in they song, it was a movement. Like, man, Cam had people wearing pink. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, remember he had a pink range.
Grown men. Yes, man. Yes.
That's wearing pink tees, bro. That Dipset was a movement, bro. So I don't know. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm still trying to figure out
What's up?
where did Jewels get these big ass bandanas from? The must was like sheets he's having on his head, bro. The must was so big, like.
Oh yeah.
Come on, baby.
I got a question for y'all. So, what verses? Since you said that, what verses do y'all want to see that y'all haven't seen yet?
I want to see a versus with.
I would say for me, I want to see Cash Money versus No Limit. Old Cash Money versus No Limit. I just don't know why that hasn't happened
Very
yet.
nice.
Yeah, we had that conversation before. That'd be fire. And do it at the Superdome, the New Orleans Superdome.
I would like to see somebody versus Missy Elliott. I don't know who.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Missy in the ring with someone because she has some joints. She has some joints.
Missy getting everybody out of here because Missy got joints.
She do. I mean, I don't know if y'all seen this when Swizz and Timbaland was talking that they were going to originally try to do Busted and Missy. They had got Busted on the line. He was like, yeah, but then he had to switch and it was like that was the original verses that they was talking about, but yeah.
That would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy. Busta got joints.
Crazy. He got some joints.
Yeah.
He got some joints.
I don't know who would I want to see? Who would I want to see? Cuz I'm a Nas fan, man. I'd love to see Nas versus somebody, you know, Jay. Like if you're gonna go 20 songs, I think Nas could match up against Jay in terms of track, you know, track by track. But I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
That's a good one.
Yeah, now
I've been honored.
Go ahead.
You said what?
Because we've been honored to see some amazing verses, man. Because one of my favorite, I have two favorites. I have Snoop and DMX was one of my favorite because Snoop is just my all-time favorite artist. And the Erykah Badu Jill Scott battle was amazing to me.
That was fire. That was fire.
That was. I give you that.
I had so much neo soul going in my house that particular night. Woo! You hear me?
You had
incense and understand me?
Yeah, no, I understand. Nigga, I want to see Tevin Campbell versus Christopher Williams from New Jack City. Y'all remember him?
Yeah. do they got I mean, that would be one song. They don't do they got any hit? Like, I know you joking.
Tevin Campbell.
I know you joking.
Please be joking. I want to see no damn Tevin Campbell. I want to see an Usher battle. I put Usher against somebody.
Here, this is who I want to see. Real talk. Boys to Men, Jodeci.
I would rather see Jodeci versus Drew Hill.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't really like Boys to Men. I know they got vocals, but
well, they got joints too, because I remember growing up. That's all my sister used to play.
They got a catalog for sure.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Greg, where we at? Was you thinking of a new verses over there, or are you gonna give us your music recommendation?
That was music recommendation. I have a future one because it's an album coming up within this next Friday. My boy Ransom is dropping, and I'm anticipating that so much right now. I don't know if you heard of this artist named Ransom, but he has bars, Tasha. You hear me? Bars, son. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you like rap. If you like rap.
I've not heard of Ransom.
He raps. He
bars, Taj. Go just he raps. You hear me? Rapidos. That's how he gets the boy has bars. You hear me?
Okay.
He does.
And you're from off the subject though. You're from Highland Park. A few of my rap buddies are from Highland Park. Shout out to Midwest Miles. My boy Super MC.
Shout out to X Factor and the X Factor. X
Factor. Yep. My boy Dale Shine. Shout out to my nigga Dale. You know them HP legends. You know.
Yeah, my pops lived in Highland Park for a little bit when he was in school, man. So shout out to HP.
That's
man.
what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to HP for sure.
Yeah. For those people who are not from Michigan and you are listening to this podcast, and you want to go visit HP, don't.
Call Tosh first. Get a clearance. Get a clearance before you step through there, boy.
Oh,
because HP is its own island in Detroit, ladies. We don't know if it's east side or west side. It's just HP, baby. It's just there, right? You know what I mean?
You're gonna go in. You may not come out.
Y'all wrong for that. Y'all are so wrong.
Nothing but love for HP, man. Nothing but love for HP.
For sure. So I would say my recommendation was Tyler the Creator has a really good album out.
Nice.
Yeah, he has a really good album. Like his previous album, Igor, was kind of like an R&B kind of singy type album, which was a good album. But his newest album is real good, man. He's got he's got DJ Drama on there doing vocals throughout the album. Like, and it just, it gave me that feel. Remember when DJ Drama used to do all those, all them mixtapes, man? Oh man, what was the name of those mixtapes? I know you remember.
I heard one of those Gangsta Grills.
Gangsta Grills, yes. So Drama on there talking crazy. So shout out to Tyler Creator's album.
It was a track off that Tyler. It's called Hot Wind Blows with Lil Wayne. Oh, that's a nice little album. Song off that joint. Okay. But off the subject though, man, I just got to say this, man. We got to stop this violence, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely.
It's been too many deaths lately. People are dying too young, man. Unfortunately, a guy I know lost his life the other night on Finkel. Rest in peace to his soul. You know what I'm saying? Praying for his family, his children. But we got to stop this meaningless, senseless killing out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Put the guns down, ladies and gentlemen. Put the goddamn guns down.
Right. Definitely. So, Tosh, anything you want to say before we close out, before we sign out?
No, I just want to thank y'all for having me. I had fun talking with y'all today, and hopefully I'll be back talking money. So thank you.
Talk
again.
that money,
talk that money.
Hey.
Must be the money.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you?
On Financial Garden on Instagram and on Facebook, and then FG_Garden on Twitter.
Definitely. And again, fellas, don't be sliding up in the Financial Garden DMs talking about you heard the message earlier. All right, so
right.
Yeah, listen, I want to just say one thing. I don't even do my social media, so you're not even gonna be talking to me. You're gonna be talking to my assistant, so you really will be wasting your time.
Okay.
Facts. And she's from HP.
Right.
So don't play her cheap, fellas, because she ain't playing them games. You hear me?
She ain't here for the games. She is not here for the games, for real. Because when my man's brought us all the way to that ice cream shop, she's about to go upside his head like, bam. you invited us, B. That's crazy.
I really was.
We was over there hot, bro. Like, hey.
Y'all had that taste for that ice cream, like.
Man, I was so ready for some cookies and cream, bro. So ready. I'm like, let me take my ass back to the cafeteria and get me some of that soft serve. Yeah, man.
Shout out to Albion, man.
Yeah. What was that dorm room? What was that? Sutton? What was that? Sutton that we was working in? That we was RAs? Seton. Oh,
Seton,
man. Yeah, I was the worst RA, man. I was the worst RA ever, man. They was getting away with everything on my floor. I didn't care about none of that.
Listen, nobody did. I think I wanted to fake like I cared for 2 weeks just so our boss could leave me alone. And then it was like, they going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So, whatever.
I know. Yeah, well.
Also, if you guys have a chance, man, go check out the Space Jam movie. It wasn't the first one, but it wasn't bad, man.
Okay.
Shout out to LeBron, man. He did his thing, man.
Okay, cool. Go check out the Space Jam movie. Shout out.
Check out the Space Jam, man.
All right, man. Well, livequalityminutes.com, man. Make every minute count. That's what we all about. Greg, you usually do this part, man. I don't want to do this part, man. Go ahead. You do it better than me.
livequalityminutes.com. Support a brand that supports you, ladies and gentlemen. We love everybody, mom out there, just for having them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stay out of trouble. Look both ways before you cross the street. You know, just be courteous to everybody out there, and do it for the little duns, man.
Do it for the little duns.
For the little duns, man.
That's right.
Tasha, thank you so much for tapping in with us. We are very, very appreciative. We hope you have a great, great day, great weekend. Bring the property value down as much as possible when you go to Jamaica and Africa again.
Definitely. Tear it up over there.
Tear it up.
For real.
Tear it down. You hear me?
Yes.
It was an honor to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Man.
We gotta stay connected, man. You know, so hey, we appreciate y'all. Episode I forget 17, 18. I don't know.
We still rolling. The ball's still rolling. Let's get
we
it
still
going.
rolling. Quality of this podcast signing out, man. Appreciate, love y'all.
Peace.